musician, a singer, and a music instructor, a writer, an entrepreneur, and he's really tired, and a professional speaker. And tonight, the topic that he's going to speak on tonight is little hinges that swing a big door. So please welcome our main speaker.
Thank you very much. Please keep that clapping going on, please. Let's do it again. I've been here all weekend. Can you see me? Okay, I have to come in the light. For a chaplain man, it's a little tough being seen in the dark. Sometimes in the dark, when friends are taking pictures of me, they say, "Smile, Roland, we gotta see you." That's why I smile a lot. Sally says she loves my smile, and that's why I do a lot of smiling, so people can see me coming. Now, if you give me a split second, I have a short PowerPoint for you. I'm gonna go ahead and get that started right over there so you can see it. For your patience. As Reverend Ron told you, I am definitely busy and tired, but I will not miss, for anything or any reason, this amazing cause and purpose of being here. I'm originally from Liberia, West Africa. And tonight, sitting here and hearing about the Lighthouse Baby Shelter in South Africa, it is my story that it's been spoken of. But after so many years of traveling and speaking to so many people from very diverse background and in different countries, what I have found and learned is that this is another part of humanity's story. A story that we do not hear most of the time of. This is your story in many different ways also. Not many of you in here were born with silver spoons in your mouths. Not many of you were born with great inheritance or heirs to the British or the American, to the British throne or the American presidency. Thank goodness we don't have that here. But not many of you were born with life handed to you on a silver platter. Whatever it is in this world, wherever you're from, no matter what your background or nationality is, you have experienced some sort of pain. In my speaking and seminars or in my writings, I tell individuals, especially individuals that I'm coaching as a life coach, I tell people that pain in life is inevitable. Pain comes to help us. For example, if you did not know that fire will burn you, you will walk into fire. So because of your nerves being sensitive to pain, it actually helps live your life in many ways. But what is a choice is suffering. We do not have to endure a day of suffering on this planet. But the choice is that we are making many times looking out for ourselves, while there is a world right outside our door or an ocean across going through suffering continuously. Is something that we can put an end to ourselves. Better yet, you can say we can provide the answers to someone's prayer. Tonight, while we're sitting here, I want you to go ahead and applaud yourself. Please go ahead and clap for yourself. I really mean that. It's not kind of a sick joke I'm trying to pull on you here. I really mean applaud yourselves because you are here tonight. You bought tickets to be here, and because you believe this is not just the dream of Sally, Biddy, and her husband. This is our dream to make this world a better place. So what I want to share with you, normally when I speak, my keynote speech is kindling the fire in you. My passion is to empower human beings to look deep in themselves, to go beyond the darkness and realize that while the darkness has been looming all along, the bright sun has been shining. The sun of our hope, the sun of our dreams, the sun of our power. But tonight I want to share briefly with you a thing that has been circulating in my mind from something I've been reading from some self-help books, and that is little hinges that swing big doors. Little hinges that swing big doors. And no matter what your contribution may be, don't overlook it. In your contribution lies endless possibilities to make a huge difference in lives across, miles across the ocean at the Lighthouse Baby Shelter. I want to share something I was waiting to hear Sally to say when she did the powerful presentation, but I went out to ask her specifically because I wanted to share this information with you. The budget amount, the target amount of money they're raising to help get this orphanage going a lot better than where it is, from a nursery to an actual orphanage, is $10,000. $10,000. Guess what? They've been able to raise 6,000 of it. Yes, please. Endless possibilities. So here is why I flew in all the way from Austin, Texas to be here with you tonight. I did not just come here to see your pretty faces. I know, it might be disappointing. And you all look so fantastic, right? I came here tonight about these babies at the Lighthouse Baby Shelter. It's about them, and what I told Reverend Ron on our long conference call is keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. It's about these beautiful, amazing children. In a second here, I will share with you why I'm so passionate and so moved by their story, because their story is mine. And while I'm so moved by it, that I will leave my family in Austin, Texas to come here and be with you tonight so that we can raise the next $4,000. Are you with me? Yes. Tonight, my goal and my passion is that we would do the 4,000. And even though I know her husband is doing a golf tournament, well, it would be great to go above the $10,000 target, right? So I'm going to be challenging you tonight for us to give to this. And then I want to show you exactly how, what a great benefit your contribution makes. Someone once said the story of the acorn. You know what the acorn told his buddies? It said, I'm going to grow up one day to be an oak tree, the mighty great oak tree. And all of his buddies laughed. The acorn came out after several tries, got trampled on, but it kept on trying, persistently and consistently. And the acorn became the mighty oak tree, standing tall, proud, and growing up in Africa, something my old teacher used to always say, do not underestimate the seeds of today. For in the seeds of today lies the flowers of tomorrow. This, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely true. Not only of the children at the Lighthouse Baby Shelter, but this is true of you also. Imagine, several years ago, according to your various ages, or according to the numbers of time you've been around the sun, a great race began. Your mom and dad met somewhere, wherever they met, and they decided to get together. There was a chemistry of attraction going on. Under whatever circumstances that led to this great attraction, however, they got together. However long it took, many processes, and here you are. But before you got here, a great race began with 300 million sperms, and you're the best that show up. Let me put this in a vivid picture for you. Stay out the gutter, stay with me, I'm not going that vivid. Imagine the entire population of the United States. A little bit around, give or take 300 million. swimming across the Atlantic Ocean to make it to South Africa. And out of that great race, you made it. Yes, you should be celebrating. The point, ladies and gentlemen, is that you are born a champion already. You've already made it this far, a champion of a mighty race. Half the work has already been done. In you is the seed of greatness. The only time you will forget that greatness is when you choose to limit an understanding of yourself by being defined by your circumstances. But when you choose to look beyond your circumstances and look inside of you to this limitless zone from where you come, some call it the nothingness, some think of it as the spirit, or sometimes I prefer to call it your God zone. From this place you've come, here you are, living in this meat robot you call a body. The essence of who you really are is completely limitless. Within you lies the greatness to change the world and to affect the life or lives of many. So tonight, as I speak, it's not about me. I can tell you a whole lot more about me. It's about these babies and so many more who will come through this orphanage, and about how we can be a part of a growing cause to make this world a better place. I want to tell you briefly about where I'm from and share with you my story so that I can witness or a testament to how generosity can change a life. And if it can change a life, it can change a village. If it can change a village, it can change a town. If it can change a town, it can change a tribe and a nation and the world. And you are the cause of that tonight. You find yourself sitting at a crossroad of a mighty, amazing opportunity to look back on this day, someday down the road, to say, I was there and I made that change in these children's lives. Liberia is on the west coast of Africa. You can see the flag there. It looks mostly like the United States flag, except for one star, which means the first and at the time only independent republic on the dark continent of Africa. In 1821, Liberia declared her independence, and there was a celebration of this, the Declaration of Independence, officially on July 26, in 1847. Freed slaves from America on the American southern coast at the time of the releasing of slaves or the abolition under President James Monroe at the time. Free slaves, some of them decided to go back to Africa. And they started their own country, which of course was already inhabited by native people. But they choose to call it Liberia, which is from the Latin liber, or liberty, which means freedom. And so there you see at the far right at the top there, the national emblem or the seal. And at the top of it, it says, the love of liberty brought us here. There is a whole story to read about Liberia. For a long time, Liberia began as a prosperous nation in Africa. Most African countries refer to Liberia as Little America, because the constitution, the style of government, it is a republic, it's a democracy, the educational system, the military, everything had been fashioned after exactly that of the United States. But in the late 80s, Liberia lost that when there was a civil war. An invasion from the east side of the country took over, like the darkest, gloomy tornado or storm that pretty much wipes the sunlight away and brings on a whole different of consciousness. It took over the country overnight, sweeping all over. Children, if you look at the bottom, there's a child soldier carrying an AK-47 shooting. It's in this time that many children became complete devils, killing their own parents. As rebel soldiers shot their parents in front of them, both of their parents, they now became the parents to these children and brainwashed them into becoming killing machines. Imagine your child, your precious baby that you love and cuddle and kiss or always call and say, I love you. Imagine them turning on you, and in their eyes, every humanity that used to be there has disappeared. As they look at you, now your baby turned into a hardcore killer. Some were doing this because of survival. Some, this was the only way to survive. Through the guns, you could get food. That is the culture that I grew up under. There they are in the streets. What kept me from joining this movement? My adopted father, whom you will hear shortly about, he saved me. What he said to me, the day I see you pick up a gun, I will cut your behind. And he meant that too, because I've been there several times. As a very hard-headed kid. And that saved my life. But how did I come into his protection, into his love as a father? My story of suffering and pain began way before a civil war invaded Liberia. There I am, looking very cute at the time. This is shortly after I was discovered. I constantly told people when I was adopted, but I've learned that here in the States, that's a very fancy word, believe me. It means you go through a process of getting this child, and sometimes social services might even investigate your home, your lifestyle, to make sure this child is going to be in a proper home. I did not go through that luxury. When I was born, at 3 months old as a baby, my biological parents, both young people, placed me in a cardboard box, or a carton if you would like, and threw me away on a dump pile. There it is, a dump pile, that's how it looks in Africa. Over here you have recycling center and waste centers that are all clean and sanitized in some way. There, a waste center is an open place in the community. That's where my adopted mother, walking by this dump pile, heard a baby crying from the dump pile and thought for a second it was a cat crying. The mixture of the sound confused her. At one point it sounded like a baby crying, at another point it sounded like a cat. So she decided to put down her walking cane and go up on the garbage heap. She pried this box open, and there is a baby in the box, crying, covered in fire ants. A picture you have seen from Sally's presentation. She grabbed me out of the box, ran to the police station, screaming on top of her lungs in fright. And right in there, because the houses are so close by, when neighbors hear a scream, everyone come out to see what's going on. They all ran her to the police station. They could not locate my parents all day after searching. She decided to adopt me and took me home. At home, while she and my adopted father loved me, my adopted siblings and adopted uncles and aunts subjected me to a lot of physical abuses, sexual abuses, psychological abuses, and verbal abuses. Although I carry the scars on my back, those heal very fast. The scars that could not heal for years, that led me to a point of multiple suicidal attempts in my life as a teenager, were the scars in my heart and on my mind. For many times I was called a parasite. I was called a bastard child. The one that stayed with me very deep, that even some police officers called me that, was when I was called the dump pile baby. That stayed with me very much. And as a teenager, while living at the bottom right there, that was the house where I live in. It's a tool shed. a lady who kept her tools in there. I volunteered to wash her dishes, to wash her clothes every weekend, to cut the grass every weekend. And there, as I stayed there to do that, that's how I paid my rent to be there. It is in that zinc shop, as I call it, a shack pretty much, that I decided indeed I was a parasite, that I was a burden to people, that I was worthless. And all I've known was to be the dumb pile baby. There I attempted suicide 3 times. On the 3rd one, something changed my life forever. I was going down that hill because I believed the stories people told me about myself. After that night, I decided that I would dedicate my life to serving humanity, to serving human beings. Of course, it wasn't well articulated as it is now, but it is that night that I found that my purpose on this planet is to teach myself and human beings to stop looking out, to look deep within, that therein lies the power and the portal to heal, to bring out your natural talents and gifts, that when we come together, we don't have to believe the lies about ourselves. We can speak the truth of who we want to be, at least. And by that, we can inspire greatness. We can change lives. And this is what I give my life as a purpose to. After this change, I found a new family in my church group. At the top left corner there, you see me there with my church friends. They love me. They began supporting me. And in fact, many times because I went sometimes weeks or months without food, many of the women in the church would feed me. Literally, I lived on the streets. My mother left when I was 8 years old. And when I stayed with my adoptive father, he was murdered when I was 12 years old. So now I was raising myself in the streets. As I went through that, I came through several near-death experiences, with the last one written in my book, A Diamond in the Rough, Never Give Up. I described this part where I was met by 30 seconds by an RPG blast. And I live to tell the story simply because there is a purpose and a plan for you and I to meet tonight, so that we can talk about the Lighthouse Baby Shelter. Somebody that changed all of this for me is the lady you see up there. She's been the angel in my life. Her name is Linda Helms. She lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. She eventually met my adopted mother, who left when I was 8 and came to the States. They became great friends. And when Linda heard my story, she said, I want to help that boy. She began sending school fees to pay for my tuition. Do you know how she paid for my tuition? Every Saturday, she did a yard sale. Every Saturday, she organized a yard sale. She went from house to house and got people to give things they didn't use anymore that were in their garage. And she organized and did a yard sale every time. And that's how I went to school. That's how I graduated. She changed my life forever and gave me an opportunity. As I began sharing my story to churches, to high schools, there is a far right at the top where I'm speaking to my high school students. This was the beginning of my public speaking career. In there, I began to find something, that I wasn't just worthless, that actually I was something better, that I have a purpose, that you have a purpose, that you and I are the greatest geniuses we've ever known. Because most of the time, I wasn't just a student. I started teaching school while I was in 8th grade. I continued teaching throughout until I graduated from high school as the valedictorian of the high school. With all of those accomplishments and growth and transitions in my life, there is one thing I always wanted: family. And so I came here after I graduated high school. Linda Helms and her church sponsored and brought me over to the States and sent me to college, where I graduated from 2 different colleges with 2 different degrees. But I always wanted a family. So I was lucky to meet a beautiful young lady that I worked with at a radio station, who thought perhaps I was good enough for her to put up with me. And from there, we've been blessed with 2 beautiful boys that I call my angels. I love them very much. They have helped my healing journey. Now through that and through all of this love, I went back and looked for my original parents. I asked my dad first. I found him because he worked at a radio station then. And he helped me locate my mother, whom I walked past in the street as a 22-year-old without even knowing who she was. And my only message to them was this, that I forgive them. I simply went to tell them, I forgive you. And here is what I told them, that indeed, I was born in this world with a mission. I came here with a purpose. Their lifestyles as young people could not support my mission. So they actually did me a favor by giving me an early start, by setting me free and putting me on that garbage heap. But I said, please remember, next time if it happens again, just put in some milk and bread and some food, please, for God's sake, so that I'm chewing on something until I'm discovered. Although this brought them to tears, the purpose of this mission of forgiveness was for me, because through it I experienced freedom. Freedom to live my life the way I choose to. Freedom to create my path, to honor myself and honor humanity. And tonight, I'm asking you for us to keep the doors open. In our lives, you did not make it here by yourself. Somebody have helped you to get on here, to get this far in your life. And tonight is our chance to give it forward. I don't believe too much in the phrase give back. It's time to give forward. So I'm asking you tonight to feel all this love in your heart that we are surrounded with in this particular world. Nature, the universe, God's love, family's love, our loved ones, the love we receive that nurtures us to be here. I'm asking you to join me and let us raise funds. I know you bought tickets, but I know you can do even more. And if you believe that with me, go ahead and clap for yourself, please. A little louder. So I'm going to ask Brother Ron to bring this treasure chest up here for me, please, if you will, sir. It's right there. And we are going to bury some treasures in there tonight. Something that we've been gifted with in this country is to have each other. I think I'd like to hold that in my hands. Thank you. Is to have each other. Somebody asked me on a flight from Austin to Atlanta, what was the toughest part of your experience? Was it growing without your parents? It was tough, but not the toughest. The toughest was having no security and love in the family I grew up in. The abuses, the physical abuse. And he said, as a software engineer, I kind of predicted that you would have said it was surviving in the streets by yourself. And I said, no. I had security in the fact that the next day when I wake up, there would be no food. So I did not suffer myself with the illusion of hoping there would be something or thinking in some way. These children, when you saw them up there, they had smiles. That's something I had many times. The only thing that took smiles off my face was when I was hungry and starving with no food. It's hard to smile when you're really hungry. But after all of these, where I stand today in my life, having been blessed with so much, is to give forward. I intend my life, my story, my experiences, and everything I do for the rest of my life on this planet is to serve humanity. I've been lucky not to have ever done drugs or alcohol or any other things that are controlled substance. But people that I coach and counsel as a life coach have described to me what it means to be high. For me, this is my high. Inspiring people. So tonight, I want to ask you for you to come up here, please, and give, to dig deep into your purse, into your pockets. There we go. I'm almost assuming when I open this box, a baby might pop out. I'm asking you to come and give tonight. What we're going for is $4,000. And if you don't have that cash, write a check. Write a post-dated check, but make sure it doesn't bounce, please. A good check. Now, we like the one that jingles, but we're going for the money that flutters. To come up and give, but don't just come up and put your money. Give the gift of love. Feel it. As you write this check, transfer love into it. What I've decided is that for everyone who is giving, I would like to thank you by making sure you get a copy of my book, a signed copy. It's called A Diamond in the Rough. A lot of what I've told you tonight is a very abbreviated version of my story. Be warned, you will cry many times, but you will also laugh a lot as you read this book. I have my business cards out there with Sally, and I also have a sign-up sheet. But I'm asking you to please stand up with me. I'm going to invite Lisa to come up here, and I'm going to sing a song with Lisa. I know we are running past time, but this is an opportunity. Thank you for feeling that love. And I'm going to invite you to come up. We're going to have it down here, and just come up and give. Feel the love in it. Know that tonight, you, when the call was made, you came up and you gave to this cause and made a difference in these children's lives. This is not just a nice statement. I didn't come up here to look cute and be nice and give you a great speech that will throw you off your legs. Tonight I came about these children, and that's why we're all here. So I'm asking you, beyond what you've already done, to come down and let's do this. And we're going to sing a song called There Is Only Love. And I love you too. Thank you. So I'm going to sing for you. Please come on up and give. And I should say this while Ron is coming up, simply because I find it hard to really shut up sometimes. That while you're going home, feel all this love, keep it with you. The opportunity continues. What I told Sally is that I want this to continue. So I want to go to South Africa and serve there. I want to take my family with me. I want wherever I travel and speak to talk about this project, to talk about this cause. So as you leave, become contagious. Feel the love, share with others. And guess what? Your tax season is coming up next year, very soon. Please, take just 10% of your tax return. Call Sally, get her information tonight. And by the way, all of that is also tax deductible. Let's continue to give. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you so much.